All right, so we are joined with my top mentee, Mr. Hamid, who has passed another two-step evaluation in literally under a week. This guy has been passing funded accounts left, right, and center like it's nothing. And I brought him here today to give you guys some value, to give you guys a little breakdown of how he's able to pass another 200K two-step evaluation in, I believe, around 3 trades. So I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Hamid, enlighten the people.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen right here. And obviously, a lot of you have seen me live trade in the Discord, and I've obviously shown you the back end, the MT5, the psychology of the trades. But obviously, as of doing the trading project and things like that, I don't really go live in the Discord for free anymore. So right here, you can see the back end of phase one. Obviously, equity 216, and obviously 3 trades with a 33% win rate. I believe that is wrong because the trades I took were 0.01s, so to like fill the minimum trading days. But as you can see, 16K and obviously 1 trade. Now, the first question everybody asks me is, what risk management do you use? Because to make 8% in 1 trade, surely you have to risk 4%. Surely that you don't. So I'm gonna go ahead and share this website with you all right here. Just give me 1 second. So stop sharing and obviously share this other screen right here. Now to show you guys that we do this, okay, so 50 lots, okay, and I'm doing this to show you guys what risk management is, because a lot of you really want to know. 50 lots with a 10 pip is 5K. Now, with my scaling in strategy, I don't use a 10 pip stop with 50 lots because it doesn't meet my risk tolerance. That's too much. I use a 7 pip stop, and you can see that's 3.5 grand risk. Now, the TP is around 33, which you can see is 16.5 grand. So I enter in drawdown, anticipation for price to go a little bit further in drawdown, to then reverse and obviously go my direction with 50 lots, which is then 16.5. And that just avoids me from going deeper in drawdown. And you're like, but how do you know if it goes in drawdown, it won't stop you out? Because I've backtested this. When you gather data from 2018 to 2024 to current date, then you'd obviously have the win rates, the risk to rewards, the probabilities, all of that. So now we're going to come over to this screen right here and obviously try full screen it. So this was actually the trade that I took, which passed my phase one. Yeah, so far, Daniel, do you have any questions or any questions the people would ask?
Yeah, okay, so the question
You're on
is.
mute.
All right, thank you. So I'm sure a question that people at home have is, how were you able to afford this evaluation? Because obviously this is not your first account.
Yeah.
So how were you able to cop another account?
All right. So I've got 3 stages to actually becoming a funded trader, and I like how you asked at the start and not at the end, because a lot of people probably kick off at the end. So you need to have the money is obviously not the most important thing out of everything, because you still need the data collection, you still need psychology. A lot of people think they're unprofitable because they don't have money, they don't have cash flow coming in, but realistically, that's only 33% of the equation. 70% is data collecting and psychology. So what I mean by that, if you guys want to pass a funded account, just write this down. Gather data from 2018 to 2024 current date. Backtest every single day. Understand the price action. Don't spam positions on FX replay. Spend some time, gather data. Next, psychology. A lot of you cannot manage your psychology. Even me, myself, sometimes on evaluations, you'll see me doing retarded activities. But I just mean over risking sometimes and things like that. But again, I'm aware of that and I can afford to do that. Now, what I mean, like how you're going to avoid your psychology within your current evaluation of funded account, write 10 things that you've done right, write 10 things that you've done wrong. Now, when you see what you're doing right and wrong, buy another account if you can, and everything you've done wrong, don't do them. It sounds easier said than done, but just don't do it. And if you really have the urge to be in a trade, what I advise you do is be in a trade. You know, when your plan is playing out, like don't wait for confirmation, enter. And I'm being serious, enter half your risk, because realistically, you're probably going to do dumb shit anyway, so you might as well be aware of it. Enter with half your risk. So let's say you're entering 20 lots. So wait for like 4 out of 5 confirmations, enter half of your risk, and if it hits stop loss, don't trade. Okay, if you trade and blow the account, that's your fault. But a lot of you have the urge of let me be in a trade, and if you can't stop that, you might as well be in a trade if you see 4 out of 5 confluences. But if you see 5 out of 5, enter full risk. I know I'm not going to say, oh, well, manage your this and that, and you have to have perfect cycle, because no one does. Even I didn't. I was 17 and I was still passing accounts and I was doing what I'm telling you. And cash flow. And in the last video, when I was speaking to Daniel, this is 30% of the equation, by the way, is how are you going to get money to buy these accounts? Because initially speaking, people who are 17 don't have, let's say $600-700 or pounds to buy 200k, and then to blow that account and buy another one or pass it and then buy another one and then, things like that. All you need to do is find someone that's winning and prove to him you're worthy to work with him. That's what I did. I found Daniel, and again, I provided value for free. I went live every day. I sent my analysis like for 1 year in the Discord for free, and he wouldn't have to know that I'm going live. I went live anyway. He didn't know what I was doing, where I was doing, whether he was on holiday, where he was. I was just running the Discord for him, which is why he gave me owner. And then had the trading prodigy running with him. That also, and he gave me free accounts. And obviously, we had other business models running as well, which is why I'm in this call today. Because again, I'm sure that other of his students are passing, other of his students are doing well as well. But why is it specifically me, kind of explaining how to pass an account or doing one phase, one trade? Because a lot of other students are still winning as well. And yeah, so 3 things: cash flow, you need to sort that out. And again, if you can't find anyone that's winning, then you're not trying hard enough, because I did, and there we go. That doesn't mean go spam every influencer. Yo, can I work with you, bro? Can I do this? Can I do that? Don't do that. Maybe work a standard job. That's also what I did. And obviously work 2-3 jobs. Initially speaking, don't even trade. Fuck it, don't even trade. If you're profitable, don't trade. Just get money coming in. And yeah, that's it. Those are the 3 steps that I would do if I was doing the account again.
Nice one, bro.
Alright, so this was the trade that obviously passed my account. You can see if I put it on, I know it says 10 pips, but my entry was a little bit higher or lower, and it was with 7 pips. So this was the initial setup right here. Now, I think this was for phase 2. No, I need to show you guys the phase 1 actually. It was a long position. It was this trade right here. So it was a buy right here. I can show you guys proof of entry and things like that on the screen in a minute. But it was around the 33 pip take profit, and obviously a 10 pip stop, because it's a phase 1. I can no, a 7 pip stop even. So something like this, and you can see obviously it's a 1 to 4. Now you can see we had very minimal drawdown on this trade right here. I remember the entry was at 709. We had very minimal drawdown on this trade, and essentially what I was looking at, okay, obviously we'll go over some of my plan right here. I was looking at this bearish trading range right here. You can see this is a high that causes low, and I trade 1 time frame, so on the 15-minute. Now, initially speaking, everyone's like, oh, but we're going down, we're like lower lows, all of this. We had bearish trading range, but I was looking at sentiment. This lower low, okay, this lower low, initially speaking, caused these, like obviously this higher low, and then these higher lows right there. So that's telling me, cool, momentum shifted. Prices potentially looking to retrace this move down here. So even though we're in a bearish trading range and prices headed lower, for the time being, what I'm seeing is this lower low caused. I actually caught the short right here on my funded account. Lovely. But this lower low caused these higher lows, and all I was looking for was a break of structure in London session. You can see we got that, followed by a retracement from the low that caused it, not this bit of structure, not the imbalance, the low that caused the break of structure. I want to see 3 wicks or 2 wicks at that region, and then take a long position, aiming for obviously the price to create a higher high. And you can see we did that, and then obviously initially or afterwards we did end up going short, but price did like 80 pips first. So our bias was definitely right for the day. And that's it. All we looked for was 4 out of 5 conferences, or 5 conferences: trading range, sentiment, break of structure, retracement, and obviously entry. Now, for the people that have learned from me in the trading prodigy, you would know exactly what setup this is. And again, I'm not selling anything here. Don't even have a course, but for the people that also learned for free, also knows kind of why we took this trade, because I've been going live for like the past 7 months. And this was the trade that passed phase 1. And just to show you guys the actual entry for the long position, because I did say I'm going to do that. Right here, you can see, so this was, obviously you can see 709 buy, and then obviously, I don't even know how to look at this properly at the minute, but then you guys can look at whatever you want to look at right here. So this was phase 1, and the trade I actually took for phase 2, I went in drawdown in phase 2. Now, coming right here to my trading journal, okay, to show you guys. So share this tab. So right here, you guys can see my my phase 2. Can you see the journal, Daniel? Okay, cool. So you can see it right here. We've got four trades. And I know it's four trades, but this was one trade in itself, and then obviously these were, two separate trades. So what we had right here, yo, okay, what we had right here was a loss on the Nasdaq. So if I open this and then share this tab, no, it was a Nasdaq, it was GU. You can see I actually live traded this position, so you guys saw me trade this live, and I'm still gonna show it because I still took a loss on this. But I believe I re-entered with confirmation around this region, and I still hit take profit afterwards. This is what I'm telling you: enter with half of your risk, and then if you hit stop loss and then get confirmation, then enter again with the other half of your risk. This is to kind of stop you from having the urge to use the full risk on a shit position. And again, I don't have the urge to take the position, but I just had a gut feeling that we weren't going to give my final confirmation before just going down. And obviously, we stopped me out, and then price, you can see we fully went short for the day. And then obviously, I re-entered with confirmation. So share this tab, and you can see I entered right there, minimal drawdown, and obviously I closed a little bit early right here at 1 to 3, or 1 to 2 it was, I'm not sure, but you can see we then got ourselves out of drawdown, so we were up around 1%. The same day, I actually had a nice setup on the Nasdaq as well, right here, and what I was looking at was obviously this higher high caused this break structure to the downside. So again, one of the conferences I would have waited for at this region here, which is also this the strategy I use. Daniel put this. So essentially right here, I would have waited for a 5 minute break of structure and then taken an entry. But because it's on the 15 minute and we had 2 week projections, I was like, cool, I'll just take this position. And you can see it, I got stopped out.
All right, Hamid, I have a question for you. Sorry to interrupt your flow. Yeah, so my question for you is, for the people at home who are watching, who probably aren't as well capitalized as you are, they don't have the same access to evaluations and stuff that you do. Would you recommend the same aggressive approach to passing evaluations? Would you be approaching your funded slightly differently if you only had one account or two accounts you could actually be trading? Would you still go for the same 0.5% risk, or would you scale into losing positions? Would you approach it differently? What would be your approach?
Sorry, can you repeat? I just had to my mic cut off.
No, you're okay. I was just saying, what would you recommend for people who don't have the same sort of capital, the same sort of access to fund account evaluations as you? Would you still recommend they approach it in the same aggressive manner? Would you still be trading your aggressive style if you didn't have like some more accounts to trade in the case that you failed it, or would you like kind of switch up your approach?
Okay, so for those that don't have a lot of capital to start with, what if you can only afford a 100k account, buy a 25k account and risk 2%. And essentially, you're still risking $500 a trade past phase one, past phase two, because again, if you have 25k accounts, you can blow 4 of them, right? You can blow 4 of them, and it equals to the same as 100k. So what you're going to do is risk 2% on that, and again, 2% is, I believe, $500. So again, if you pass phase one and phase two, you can still make a decent amount from it. If you win, let's say you have a winning month of 10%, risking 2% a trade, I don't know, let's say you make 3,000-4,000, then again you now have the capital. And if you blow, let's say 125k, 225k, 325k, you still have the fourth one to potentially pass in it. So let's say you blow 4 accounts and that's it flat out, then you shouldn't be trading evaluations. You should have some sort of income coming in to buy more accounts to them. Again, a lot of these firms like ACG have 40% off, so even the 100k is not really $300-$400 anymore. It's more like 200 or around 280ish. So obviously 40% off with ACG. Yeah, I don't know. Hit me up. I'll slide you a code. I don't know.
Come on.
But yeah.
Solid, bro. All right, cool. Yep.
All right, cool. So we're now going over the trade that actually got my phase two out of drawdown and then pass, which you can see 9%. So bear in mind my account was in drawdown in it, so that meant I had to kind of be careful with the trade I was taking. And again, I seen the setup right here, and it was incredibly high probability. All my confirmations given that the trade was in line with obviously the direction of the markets and things like that. We had trading followed by break of structure to the downside, retracement to the high that caused the move, confirmation, and then entry. You can see again, if I did what I did previously, enter in anticipation, I would have got stopped out again, 0.5% loss, but I didn't do that. I was like, it's phase two, there, I can relax a bit. And obviously you can see this was a 7-pip stop, and I think my entry was higher or low, I'm not sure, but essentially we had consecutive bearish candles in a row. Now I was in 2% risk on this trade, like at fully 2%, so it was around I think 50 or 60 lots. So I cut down as soon as price broke this low right here. I cut half my risk, okay, and this was because I was in drawdown. My best scenario was to, if I win or not, it doesn't matter, to be in profit. So I was up around 202, and I was like, okay, cool. This trade's running. We're restricted to the downside. One of two things is going to happen. We're going to reverse and continue all the way back up, or we're going to break restricted to the downside and send it. So I extended my TP from a 1 to 2 to about a 1 to 4 or 1 to 3.5 here. Wasn't expecting it. And I remember I was in class, and I had to go do something, and I came back and the trade was like right here. It was so unexpected.
Bro, just to
was at 15 pips.
sorry to cut you off, but we're looking at your other screen. We can't see the chart right now.
Forgot to share that. Oh dear. But yeah, this is the trade I was just talking about.
Yeah.
This is where if I took with no confirmation, I've got stopped out. This is where I cut half of my position to get myself out of drawdown, and this is where I extended my TP, and obviously one candle was like 15 pips. So yeah, that's phase 1 and phase 2 on a funded eval. And yeah, for anyone looking to pass an account, all you really need to do is the 3 things: psychology, have cash flow to burn, or don't burn, but you know what I mean. And data collection. A lot of people that say I can't afford the valuations, you also don't have the skill set. And I say this because a lot of my close friends are the exact same. They have the skill set, but they don't have the money, which is where I step in. I gave a few of them accounts and shit, and you can see them all pretty much fucking smashing it out the park. But this is what I'm saying. If Daniel gave everyone watching a 200k, still 98% of people would fail.
Yeah.
And again, it's because 98 or ready to pass an account. Yeah,
99% of you guys are retards, really and truly. Yeah, 99% of you guys shouldn't be trading an evaluation to begin with. Like, you guys are doing your data collection on the evaluation stages. Like, you're learning your system via funded and stuff like that. It's just silly. So yeah, definitely one major takeaway from this is, even besides having the capital and besides having the money to burn, all of that, is you need your data collection to be on point. One thing I can wholeheartedly say about Hamid, and one of the reasons he's risen above all of my other mentees and stuff like this, is because this guy studied price action so intensely for such a long duration of time and done so much data collection and in such a calculated way, not just sitting on FX replay and not just taking random trades, not just journaling 1 or 2, but actually having everything complete. Like, look right here in front, you can see on a year by year basis, month by month, he's got it all trade by trade, and you can see all the data clearly. You can actually make calculated decisions based off of this raw data. And that's one of the reasons he was able to refine his system and get to the point he's at, is because he put in the work, quite frankly. So if you don't have a bunch of data collection that you can look back on, if you don't have a bunch of real numbers to go off of, then you simply haven't put in the work, and that's maybe the reason why your trading is lacking and it's falling behind. You got anything else you'd like to say, Hamid, before we wrap up on the vid?
No, I'm just showing people my evaluations, or not evaluations, the amount of data I've gathered. And I'm not sure where you can check this, but if you go over like the settings or something, you can see that I've backed us way over 10,000 positions. Yeah. And it's not even just on one pair. I've traded NASDAQ, US 30, German 30, and GBP USD, well over 10,000 positions. And a lot of people don't even have fucking 50 positions in their journal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you just fucking down the data.
Yeah, nice one. All right, cool. So the video is almost at 20 minutes. We're going to wrap it up right here. For those of you who are still watching, which is like less than 1% at this point in the video, thank you for watching the video. We'll probably come back and we'll do a couple follow-up episodes. Hamid has got his big 10k payout potentially pending at the end of the month, so we got some cool content and stuff planned for that as well. There's some big things happening, so just stay active on the channel. Let me know what you guys want to see in the comments. If you want to see a further trade breakdown, if you want some more insights into Hamid's system and stuff like that, or you just want a little psychology session or anything like that, let me know in the comments. Hamid, anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
Nah, gather data, boys.
Gather data, boys. All right, sweet, nice one.